My warm greetings to all. I am Anita, a faculty with Silver Hills Public School. Today I would like to discuss a topic from the physics section, class 10 CBSE, and the chapter being light. In the previous session, we have discussed about the parameters, the rules, and the image formation in spherical mirrors. In continuation to that, I would like to present to you the mirror formula and magnification in spherical mirrors. So, come over, let us see what is in store for the day. My topic is mirror formula and magnification in spherical mirrors. Mirror formula. The relationship between the object distance, image distance, and the focal length of a mirror is called the mirror formula. And the mirror formula is expressed as 1 by f is equals to 1 by v plus 1 by u. Now, what does f, u, and v stand for? The distance between the pole and the object of the mirror is called as the object distance and symbolized as u. The distance between the pole and the image of the mirror is called the image distance v. The distance between the pole and the principal focus of the mirror is called the focal length of the mirror. Now, magnification of mirrors. Magnification is defined as the extent to which an image is bigger or smaller with respect to the object. Magnification is denoted by a small letter m. Magnification for a spherical mirror is actually defined as the ratio of the height of the image to the height of the object. So, magnification m is equals to h2 by h1, where h2 is symbolized as the image height and h1 is defined as the object height. Now, the magnification of a spherical mirror can also be expressed in terms of the image distance and object distance. So, magnification in terms of image and object distance is given as m is equal to minus of image distance by the object distance. So, putting them all together, what do I get? Magnification can be expressed as the ratio of height of the image to the height of the object, or the negative of image distance to the object distance. As you could see, it is the ratio of the similar physical quantities. They are not going to have a unit because centimeter by centimeter height is there, isn't it? As a result, centimeters taking the ratio will be cancelled off. What we get is magnification do not have a unit to it. It is just a number value. Now, check the small chart that we have made last time for the image formation of spherical mirrors, concave mirror. So these are the different positions at which we have placed the object. And these are the positions at which we found the images. And these are the size of the image formed. Here, when we are talking about magnification, the size is what we are going to be discussing here. Now, in the first case, when the object is lying at infinity, we found that the image created over there was pretty small, a point-size image we happen to see. In that case, in terms of a value, how am I going to define my magnification? So, I've taken a few random values over here just to see how my magnification is going to be with respect to the size of the object here, right? So, I have a minus 0.01 indicated over here, which means that the size of the image is very, very small. But what does that minus sign indicate there? The minus sign is actually expressing that the image is real. And as it is real, it is formed in front of the mirror. So anything that is lying in front of the mirror, by convention, by Cartesian sign convention, it should be taken as negative. Now go for the next one. When I keep my object beyond C, my image is formed between F and C. and it is diminished. That means what? The size of my image is getting little more bigger now. The magnification produced over here, we can take it as minus 0.02. Check the third case. When the object is lying at C, the image of the object is also produced at C. And what is the size of the image? Same size. And check for the magnification. Magnification is given as minus 1. When the ratio is given as 1, we know that the values at the numerator and denominator will be the same. That is exactly what is happening over here, because the size of the object and the image are the same. Right? As a result, I get a value 1. But what does that negative sign again indicate? The image is lying in front of the mirror. Right? Similarly, when you go by these positions where the object is placed, you find that gradually my magnification increases. Okay, but has a negative sign to it, which indicates that the image is created in front of the mirror. So from 1, it has come to 1.75. So we find a small increase in the height. Next, I have it as minus 6.5. Again, these are all random values that we are just using it to understand how the size of the image is going to vary with that of the object. So when I say it is minus 6.5, I am having my object placed at the focus and my image is lying at infinity. That means by the time it reaches infinity and the image is created, it should be a very large size. Last one is a bit different from the rest of them. Why? Because the object is now fallen or kept between the pole and the focus. And we know that we get by our simple magnification done there, and the image so created will be a virtual and erect one. In that case, check the magnification, it comes out to be plus 2.5. What does that plus indicate there? It indicates that the image created is behind the mirror, as a result of which the value of magnification will be taken as positive. This is exactly what is going to happen for the convex mirrors. Again, we had a chart there where the convex mirrors, we can always keep the object in front of the mirror and the image is always formed behind the mirror. But the image formed is always going to be diminished. And those are the mirrors that we use as in our vehicles, as a rear view mirror, right? We can always see that the size of the object is seen very small inside the mirror. So in those in case of a convex mirror, all the magnification will take a positive value, but a diminished one. We'll never take a value of plus 1 in this case. It will be always less than plus 1. Knowing the mirror formula, it is very essential to understand the Cartesian sign convention. To make a particular unique case for your object distance and image distance, there are certain signs that has to be added to your mirror formula. Let us discuss the Cartesian sign convention here. Before we discuss the Cartesian sign convention, there are certain assumptions that should be put in place. First happens to be the pole of the mirror is taken as the origin, which indicates that all the measurements, that is your object distance and the image distance, should be measured from the pole of the mirror. The principal axis of the spherical mirror is taken as the x-axis of the coordinate system. Now let us discuss about the Cartesian sign convention here. The first convention happens to be the object is always placed to the left of the mirror. So that is, when you're trying to draw a diagram also, you have to keep this in mind that the object should be placed towards the left and the optical device, in this case being a mirror, spherical mirror, should be placed towards the right. That means the ray of light from the left is traveling towards the right. Next one, all distances parallel to the principal axis are measured from the pole of the mirror. So pole happens to be the reference point from which all the measurements starts. Third one, all distances measured along the direction of the incident ray are positive. That is, if you're thinking in terms of a graph paper, anything that is measured toward the positive quadrant should always be taken as a positive value. The distance measured opposite to the direction of the incident ray are negative. Obviously, when you're measuring something to the negative quadrant, the value is taken as a negative. The fifth one, distances measured perpendicular to and above the principal axis are positive. Sixth and the last one, distances measured perpendicular to and below the principal axis is taken as negative. This can be easily understood with this graph. So I have this two-coordinate graph here, which I have divided into 4 quadrants here. This is my all positive quadrant. This is my negative positive quadrant. This is my all negative quadrant. And this is my positive negative quadrant. Now we have to imagine, keep all the rules in mind. We have to keep the origin point over here as our reference point for all measurements. So what we do is, we are going to keep our mirror along the y-axis. So anything that is measured to the right of my x-axis will be positive. Anything that is measured towards the left of my x-axis will be negative. Measurements above this origin is taken as positive, and any measurements below my reference x-axis is going to be negative. This is exactly what the Cartesian sign convention is all about. As my x-axis over here is equivalent to my principal axis for a spherical mirror, I am going to place the objects at different position on the principal axis. So if I keep an object out over here, the height of the object will be taken as positive because I am measuring it above the principal axis. Right? So if I get an image, I have my concave mirror, and if I get an image over here, image can be virtual, which falls inside the mirror. So my the measurement will be taken from the pole and inward that happens to be positive. That measured value will take a positive value. Right? Similarly, if I'm going to have a real image, the image will be created in front of the mirror. And real images are always inverted. So my image distance, I will have to take it as negative. Similarly, my image will be upside down. As a result, the height of the image will always be taken as negative. Now let us see the pictorial representation of a Cartesian sign convention. Isn't that same? Can't you see that x-axis and the y-axis over here? And I've placed the mirror with having its pole at the origin. So here is where I keep my object, and we know that the light from the object is going to be spread out three-dimensionally all directions here, right? But I am only concerned about the ray of light that falls over onto my mirror, right? So I have my rays of light traveling from the object towards the mirror. After reflection, it is going to go in whatever direction it wants. It will, applying with the rules, it will go in different directions. But if I have to measure the object distance is going to be from the pole to the point where the object is lying. But the convention says that all the measurements should be taken from the pole. And the second part, it says that all measurement that is taken in the direction of the light that is propagating is going to be taken as positive. Right. So there is a small puzzle over there. That means my light is traveling in this direction, which is taken as positive, but the measurement should be taken in the opposite order. That means the value of object distance, though it be any kind of mirrors, it will be taken as a negative value. Okay. Now, depending upon where the object is placed, you will find your image. If the image is formed behind the mirror, see, you're going to measure in the positive direction of the x-axis. So that value should be taken as positive. Now, anything that is measured below the principal axis, when it happens to be a real image, you will find that the measurement should be taken below the principal axis. It will be a negative value. Virtual images will always give you a positive value. This is all about your Cartesian sign convention. Now, look at this chart that I've tried to put in for the Cartesian sign convention for both the mirrors. Check for the concave mirror. My object is always going to be lying in front of the mirror. Okay, and the measurement is to be taken in the direction opposite to which the light is traveling. As a result, my value object distance is always going to take a negative one. My image can be real or virtual. If the image is real, it will be falling in front of the mirror, right? So the value will be negative. Next, if I have a virtual images are created behind the mirror. So the value will be positive. Similarly, checking for the focal length. We have seen in the previous classes that the focal length of a concave mirror lies ahead of the mirror, right? So obviously, concave mirror will have a negative value of the focal length. And twice the value of the focal length is your radius of curvature. So there's only change in the magnitude, the sign remains the same. Height of the object is always placed above the principal axis. So positive value. Last, height of the image. Depending upon it being real or virtual, the height can be positive or negative. Very clearly from this chart, we can see that if it's a real image, the height will be taken as negative. And if it's a virtual one, it will be taken as positive. Now check for our convex mirror here. Convex mirror, be it convex mirror or a concave mirror or for that matter of fact lenses also, you see that U value, that is your object distance, is always going to be negative. So a convex mirror never creates a real image. So you don't have to worry about it at all. And it always creates a virtual image. So the virtual image so created gives me a positive value. Convex mirror, focal length lies inside the mirror, behind the mirror. So the value is positive. Radius of curvature, 2 times focal length is the radius of curvature. So it's again a positive value. Height of the object, it's a positive value. Height of the image will also fetch you a positive value using your Cartesian sign convention. If this chart is there in your mind, solving and applying sign convention to your mirror formula is very, very easy. Now let us discuss few numericals of spherical mirrors. I've tried to select numerical from the NCERT books and I've given you the page number and the question too. As you read the question, make sure that you write down those values that are given to you. So an object is placed at a distance of 10 centimeter. So here they are talking about the object distance and the value happens to be 10 centimeter. From a convex mirror. So immediately what should come into our mind is it's a convex mirror and the focal length is given. Apply the Cartesian sign convention and check out what should I put it as a positive value or a negative value. Find the position. That means they are asking us to find out the value of V, image distance. The nature. Nature means is it real or virtual? These are the data that is given to you and these are the values that you are supposed to calculate. So I've tried to apply the Cartesian sign convention and solve it for you. Using the Cartesian sign convention to our numerical, I found that U is equals to minus 10 centimeter. Focal length of the convex mirror is equal to positive 15 centimeter. Then I bring my mirror formula in place. 1 by F is equals to 1 by V plus 1 by U. And writing this mirror formula in your answer paper is very, very essential because it fetches you half or 1 mark there. Because you have to split them down into steps while you are solving the problem. Steps carries marks over here. So I put the formula, then I substitute the values into the formula and this is what I get. Eventually when I do the mathematical operation, I find that 1 by V is equal to 1 by 6. The value is V is equals to 6 centimeter and it's a positive value which very clearly means that the image so formed over here is virtual, erect and behind the mirror. So it satisfies all that is required here. They were asking us about the image distance and the nature. Both are mentioned with just one calculation we are getting. Imagine if this value happens to be minus 6 centimeter. the image would be real and inverted. So that is how the sign convention used over here helps us to identify if the image created is a real one or a virtual one. Check the next question. The magnification produced by a plane mirror is +1. What does that mean? Now, isn't that very simple? +1. M is equals to +1. And whenever that plus sign comes, it's actually defining very clearly that it's virtual and erect. And value 1, magnitude equals 1. What does that mean? The object distance and the image distance are the same. Similarly, height of the image is equal to the height of the object. So when you're standing in front of a plane mirror, the size of the image will be same as size of the object. Depends upon at what position from the mirror you are standing. And accordingly, the image would also be shifting to that particular position behind the mirror. Quite often this question is seen in the question papers. Third one, an object of size 7 centimeter is placed at 27 centimeter. So what is that telling? Object of size 7 centimeter. So it's actually defining the height of the object. Apply the Cartesian sign convention. H1 is going to take a positive value of 7.0 centimeter. And it's placed at a distance of 27 centimeter. Here they are telling us what is the object distance. U is equals to minus 27 centimeter. And the mirror used over here is a concave mirror. So concave mirror will have its focal length as a negative value. So I'm going to get it as minus 18 centimeter. And they're asking us, at what distance from the mirror should a screen be placed? They're asking us, what is the image distance over there? So that a sharp focused image can be obtained. Find the size and the nature of the image. So there are 3 variables here that is to be calculated. Your image distance, height of the image, and nature of the image. So I will leave you with this. What are the formulas required here? That is your mirror formula, and the other is magnification. Formula for magnification. Substitute using your Cartesian sign convention into these 2 formulas, and I give you the answers here. The image distance happens to be minus 54 centimeter. That means the image is going to be created in front of the mirror on a screen. Next, the magnification so created over here is minus 2. Check, there is no unit. The ratio of the same physical quantities, I told you. And height of the image is coming out as minus 14 centimeter, which means that the image is going to be inverted and below the principal axis. So this is what I plan to discuss with you. Keep the flame of learning ignited. Never let it smolder off. Happy learning. Thank you for being there. Thanks a lot.